Sheesh. Yo, what's good? What's going on, man? Salute to everybody tuning into the channel, man. It's your boy Acito, bro. I'm listening to the Diddy trial. Like, you know what I mean? They like 2 weeks in the Diddy trial. The Diddy trial is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm listening to a couple of bloggers, and a couple of platforms that are actually doing like live like reactions, you know, reading the transcripts from the actual case. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just something to listen to get myself through work and shit. So I'm listening to the Kid Cudi testimony, and then I get a text, bro. I get a text saying, yo, go to Remy Ma's live. She's going crazy on Papoose. I'm like, what? Bro, I click on Remy's live. Sheesh. Bro, she's going ham. And yo, and the crazy shit is, bro, I knew this was going to happen, bro. I knew this was going to happen because of the Claressa Shields interview in the Breakfast Club. Now, Jess Hilarious asked her, she didn't say Remy's name, but she asked her, you know, about the whole debacle that happened when her movie premiere came out. Remy, you know what I'm saying, put her out there on blast and shit like that, asking her like, how's that situation and shit like that. Me personally, this is my personal opinion, I felt like Claressa should have just been like, you know what, I ain't even want to get into that. She should have just brushed it off, bro. Trying to keep it too real, she starts talking about that situation, talking about her and Pap, talking about Pap's previous relationship, marriage, because he's still legally married. You know what I mean? She's on a public platform saying she goes together with a married man. Like, it just, I don't know, like, it just was like a little cringy. You know what I'm saying? And then you speaking on this man's divorce and saying he got to do such and such, and saying that, you know, indirectly saying that Remy's emotional and stuff like I just was like, yo, this shit ain't gonna go right, bro. And I remember Remy saying from the last time that she went live, she said, yo, every single time that this chick says my name or does anything, I'm gonna go crazy on you, Pat. I'm gonna take it out on you. And yo, she did that interview, bro. She was letting this nigga Pap hear it, bro. She's exposing, like, she didn't like blatantly say it, but you put two and two together. Something happened with Pap and her on his end. Like, he did something. You know what I'm saying? She's not fully like exposing her full hand for some reason, but she's just like, yo, how, she's like, just think about this, right? How is this depiction of a man that's hold you down for 10 years when you did your bid, you know what I'm saying, take care of the kids, a good black God-fearing man, you know, black love and all this and that. Why would a married woman just walk away from all of that? Like, why? Like, it has to be something. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because when the whole situation like popped off with Easy, Rem, and Pap, I was just like, yo, there's something missing. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, Remy was out there, and then when Pap snuffed Easy and shit like that, it kind of put it out there as like, yo, Remy cheating on Pap with Easy, and Pap called him slipping and knocked him out and shit like that. So it was like, we never really got the full length context. It just looked like Rem stepped out on Pat, on a nigga that's been holding her down for so long. And she kind of like was just like, yo, it's always more to it. Like, you really got to think about it. Like, why would I just leave a great situation like that? Especially somebody that held me down for all these years. And she was like, bro, I still had to pay for shit. Even when I was in jail, bills, multiple cribs, you know what I'm saying, Christmas gifts, birthdays, like, you know what I'm saying? She said she was still paying bills and sending money off her royalty checks. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, this nigga Pat didn't have no money. He didn't have no bread. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, even the whole relationship, like she was the breadwinner. You know what I'm saying? She put that out there. She was like, gifts that he would buy her, he would buy it with her money. That shit was crazy, bro. She was putting him out there. She also said that Papoose pawned one of her jewelry. She's like, I want my jewelry back. Like, what happened to my jewelry? My jewelry went missing right when you left my house. And she said she found a pawn receipt, I guess, in one of his clothes when she was packing up his clothes, whatever. She found a pawn receipt and actually called the pawn shop and verified that her jewelry was there. So that was crazy too. She talked about a $35,000 Amex credit card that Pat ran up and never paid for. So she was just like really like, or some real shit, my nigga. Like, like, yeah, you did what any person, you know what I mean, was going to do. Like, if somebody's going to be away for 8 to 10 years, you got to expect them to do their thing. And she was like, I wasn't even mad at that. She's like, she made it clear. The reason why her and Pap didn't work out, it wasn't because of infidelity. That wasn't the reason. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of people saying like, yo, well, Pat may have cheated on her when she was locked up and shit like that. She was like, no, that's not the reason. So it seems like maybe lying, you know what I'm saying? Conniving, backstabbing, you know what I mean? It could be something of that nature. But, you know, she made it crystal clear. She was just like, yo, tell your girl, stop saying my name. Stop disrespecting me. Stop speaking on me. She was like, if you such a wifey material and lady, whatever the case may be, talking about Claressa Shields, she was like, how do you get on a public platform and announce that you're in a relationship with a married man? Like, he's still married. Like, Pat is still my husband. You know what I mean? And she also touched on like her situation. She was like, I'm single. She's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not in no relationship. I'm not nothing. I'm still legally married. You know what I'm saying? I may be talking to somebody, and she was like, y'all know what it is. I know who I, you know what I mean? She talking about easy. You know what I'm saying? She talking about easy. But it was just crazy, man. And then it went further from there. Yo, Pat went live. Pat, oh my God, bro. Jesus Christ, bro. And Pap is a nigga. He don't really put his business out there. He don't go live. He don't really engage in that type of shit, bro. Pap said that he wrote 90% of Remy Ma's raps dating back to her first album, bro. Nigga said he wrote 90%. He said, bro, you could literally like go to Siri and start like reciting some of the bars, and the notes will pop up in his phone. He said he still got the drafts with the dates and everything for every single bar, every single song that he wrote. He said he never got no royalties, nothing. He never wanted no. He did it because that was my woman. So he was like, the audacity for you to talk down and say that I'm not there for my child, like I'm not seeing my child. Like, Pat was like, no, you keeping me from my child. And when it gets to that point, it's he say, she say. You know what I mean? Remy's like, bro, you ain't seen your daughter in months. And Pat was saying, bro, I'm trying to see my daughter. You keeping me from my daughter. So it's like, it's unfortunate, man, because you got a beautiful baby girl in the middle of this. And now this is publicly on social media. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like all gloves is off. Like, they going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Pat, he playing audio recordings of Remy pretty much down talking Easy. Then you got audio recordings of Easy pretty much saying he don't know if Remy really in it with him. You know what I'm saying? He got to kind of keep both doors open. If push come to shove, you know what I'm saying, he gonna do what he got to do. Papoose basically saying like Remy took it as like that Easy was trying to blackmail her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. He touched on the fight, bro. He really don't fuck with Easy, bro. He said I knocked him out, and he said the reason why he knocked Easy out is because he shook his hand. He said he didn't give a fuck if you slept with my wife, cool, because my wife made that choice. But he said, nigga, once you shook my hand and then you still fucked my wife, bro. He said, nigga, I wanted to beat him senseless. I wanted to beat blood out of him. But I said, you know, I'm gonna just knock that nigga out. He said, bro, he was there for the Hitman and Easy battle. He was in the crowd. He said he was there. You know what I'm saying? And during this time, I guess him and Remy was trying to work it out. They were going to counseling and shit like that. And I guess Remy agreed to, after the Hitman battle, that she was gonna kind of stop seeing Easy. And I guess that wasn't the case. So he was just like, yo, I'm gonna put hands on this nigga when I see him. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he don't fuck with Easy, bro, at all. And as he should, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, nigga sleeping with your wife and then he's in battles bragging about it and shit like that. But then you got somebody like Rem, you know what I'm saying, where Rem is just like, Rem feels very betrayed. Like, that's the energy I get from Remy. Remy feels very betrayed. She feels disrespected. And for her, she's like, all gloves is off. That's the vibe I get from Remy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what the fuck Pap did, bro. I don't know what he did. I know he took something from her because she posted up a pawn shop receipt of a I think it was like a Chanel bracelet, like three bands or something like that. That's crazy low too. Like, you pawn a bracelet to get $3,000. Like, that nigga, that's you that fucked up for money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. But when she was talking about the whole money shit, like, I believe it, bro, because like Remy got hit records. She's featured on classic songs. You know what I mean? She got the All the Way Up joint. You know what I mean? I think she did that when she came home. Like, so like, even though it's been a while since she put out a solo album, she still got classics. She still performs. Pretty sure a lot of her songs get played on TV shows and shit like that. So I know her royalties is probably really, really good. You feel me? And she do a lot of shows. So it's like Pap don't put no music out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a mainstream artist. The last time I heard Papoose get bread, rest in peace, K Slay was alive. You know what I mean? And I think he had did a flip mode, I think a flip mode conglomerate deal or something like that, and he got like 1.5 or some shit like that from a record label. But other than that, like, Pap ain't really like relevant like that on the music shit. Like freestyles, yeah, but on the music tip, like shows, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never really was that. Like, well, he was at a certain point with like Smack DVDs, but as the years went on, like, his relationship with Remy and shit, like, Remy was looked at as like the dominant artist. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy, bro. So in the midst of all this, like, I don't know if you want to call this positive, but the divorce papers have been signed. I guess they were both blaming each other for, you know, the reasons why the divorce papers weren't signed. But Papoose put up a screenshot basically saying that his documents were signed and they were delivered and all, whatever the case may be. So he's clear on his end. And I believe Remy was saying like, yo, I just need you to sign the papers, whatever. I'll pay for your attorney. Like, she was trying to do whatever to get it done. I don't know. But one thing too, Remy showed screenshots of like Pap, like, you know, cordially having conversations. Like, when he went on his African, this was the crazy part, right? Before he went on his trip for Africa, there was a reason why Claressa Shields did not go. It had something to do about shots. Like, Papoose told her that she had to get shots or something like that. Remy said that was a lie. He didn't have to get shots. He had to take a pill. And the reason why she knew this is because Papoose is still under her insurance. And she said by law in New Jersey, you cannot remove a family member or a significant other off of your insurance if you are still married. Dog, was Remy the head of household? I'm gonna just be real, my nigga. Was she the head of household? Like, that's kind of crazy, bro. Like, damn, nigga, you ain't have your own like health insurance? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Like, I think for me, when I hear the stories about the money factor, and, you know, as far as like Pat contributing from that standpoint of things, I can believe he didn't do the magnitude of what's being depicted. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? As far as on Remy's side of the things, It's no secret, you know what I mean? She did what she did with Easy the Block Captain. Um, as far as her keeping her child away from Pap, that could be a possibility. But I find that shit hard to believe if you were texting her and y'all having formal, just, regular conversations, even LOLs. Like, I seen the screenshots that Remy posted. So I highly doubt she keep you from your child, bro. And she also spoke highly of you, of being a great father. You know what I'm saying? And she also said, I would never take full custody because I didn't create the child by myself. Like, nigga, no, you gotta hold the responsibility just like me. So it's like, for me, Pap using that angle, I find that hard to believe. I find that hard to believe that she's gonna keep you from your daughter. I don't believe that, bro. I don't. I'm gonna be real. I don't believe it, man. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I think, like, they both, it was a point where both of them were going live at the same time. At the same time, bro. Like, the net is in shambles right now, bro. Like, I'm telling you, this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I don't. This nigga easy, bro. This nigga easy. Easy to Block Captain, man. This is another angle, my nigga. This is another angle. And if the right person is battling you, he's gonna have a field day. A field day. You know what I'm saying? So man, I don't know, man. I don't know. One thing I will say before I end this shit, I do feel like a part of me sides with Remy a little bit more. Just from the money aspect of things, like Pap not really bringing much to the table. But I feel like Papoose was stalling with signing those divorce papers. And I'm going to tell you why. I feel like Pat was trying to find a way where he could, pretty much milk the situation. Like, make sure he gets, back pay for, pain and suffering. Kind of like how Mary J. Blige, her husband, kind of, their divorce went. The divorce was over. She got crazy bread, but she also had to pay this nigga, I think it was like spouse support or some shit like that, like $30K a month. Like, that was wow. So I can see something like that happening. You know what I'm saying? In this situation. But then again, it's like, not really. But it's I don't know, it's too hard to call, bro. It's too hard to call right now. But I'm not going front, bro. Like, the gloves is off. Like, I'm just being real, like, the gloves is off. And I'm not gonna hold you. Remy says she got more damage and shit. Like, if niggas want to keep playing, you know what I'm saying? And I know one thing: the streets is going to eat. They are going to eat off this story alone, bro. I'm telling you right now, man. But I don't know, man. That's how I feel when it comes to Pat, man. I feel like Pat, he's stalling with that divorce because he trying to walk away with something. Remy making it clear, like, I don't want nothing from you. I don't want nothing. I just want you to sign the papers. Like, he's stalling. He's stalling because he trying to figure out a way where he can get paid. You know what I mean? Like, I heard somebody say something like, oh, well, what about the times when I held you down for 8 to 10 years and shit like that? Like, I could see him trying to get money for his sacrifice and his contributions for her getting to that certain, point that she's gotten to. Like, I can see that happening, man. I can definitely see it happening. But I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man, in the comment section, man. I'm pretty sure this will not be the last. This will not be the last we hearing of this shit, man. But whoo, we in for one, man. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all social media platforms, man. It's your boy Acito. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.